Alright, there we go. Let me screen share the thingy again for you. There we go.
Okay, let's see.
Now it's time to start all over again and hope people will turn up once more. Hopefully they will. I mean,
They
this.
should. Phew, phew.
So, I hope the stream is continuing. If it isn't, that'll be pretty annoying. You can
Oh
see
my
the
God,
screen share.
hopefully. Yeah, I can see it. Hold on, I'm gonna open up the YouTube comments on my own phone just to be sure.
Okay. We've got 4 people back.
Thank
Sorry
you
about
guys
that.
for tuning back in.
Sorry about all of that stuff. Hopefully this won't happen again because I'm glad people are coming back. I never doubted the commitment of my community. We are a committed bunch because how would we? We have the resilience to track down new episodes from any part of the world. So of course this would be like child's play by comparison.
Someone said, "What are your guys' thoughts on the new cancel from El Toro de Piedra?" I
Uh,
see a lot of mixed reactions about it, and in my complete honest opinion, I'm really optimistic about them as a new antagonist of the show.
I'm
I feel like
questioning. Sorry.
I'm like very optimistic because I have been enjoying season 6 so far. I've been able to kind of like enjoy 99% of it, excluding sublimation, but literally no one likes sublimation, so we're just gonna pretend that wasn't canon.
That doesn't. There's no
But
sublimation in Ba Sing Se.
exactly. Um I feel like when it came down to the first arc of Miraculous, it was sticking like very closely to its original concept, and so by that happening, if the show wanted to explore its world and characters more, I feel like they kind of needed to kind of break away a little bit from the status quo by introducing a new antagonist to the series. A lot of people say that it's like random and stuff, but as much as I do agree, I don't think it's like random in a bad way, you know? I feel like if they're able to create like good antagonists, I think that having them be included into the series won't be like a bad thing. Although the impression I am getting from them is that they might work as antagonists for both Chrysalis and Ladybug, but that's like my own personal thoughts about it, rather than like something that like seems to be insinuated at all. I
I'm
do
sorry.
you know, sorry, I like pause it because I was thinking of the word, but I do really appreciate how the series is evolving and how this new introduction to new antagonists is showing how Miraculous can still be a series outside of its original concept. So I really do appreciate it. But that's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, and I'm debating whether or not I should just come out now and say how I feel about the Secret Council, or if I should just wait for my season 6 video to release and then I'll find out then. But seeing as we're here, and seeing as basically almost everything else about the season 6 video has been kept under wraps for so long now, and you guys have been waiting so long, I'll throw you all a bone and tell you how I feel about the Secret Council. Ahem. I love it. I love it so much that I can't even express it. I love the idea that there's this secret evil council that Natalie is on and Tomoe is also on, and I've seen some like leaked screenshots of Natalie wearing what looks like a fake butterfly Miraculous. And so I'm suspecting Natalie is going to pretend to this new council that she is the new butterfly holder. And so that makes me almost 100% convinced that Yoxi Gozen is basically Tomoe going up to Natalie and saying, Akumatize me. And then Natalie will say, okay, I'll do it a bit later. And then Chrysalis shows up and does it instead. And then Tomoe spills something to Chrysalis like, finally, our secret plans will be unleashed, thank you, and all that good stuff. And then Chrysalis will be like, what are you talking about? But she'll keep that to herself. And then she'll learn about the council by pretending to be Natalie. I love this idea. Like, without the secret council, I was thinking Natalie, I don't know, I wasn't really 100% on board with Lila as the main villain because she felt kind of insignificant compared to Gabriel. But now that the new council is here, and they seem like they have a lot more advanced resources and a greater scope and an evil agenda and all that stuff. And Lila, now instead of comparing her to Gabriel, I'm comparing her to the secret council, where like Lila, she feels like the underdog. Like she seems to be working alone on her own with her massive books and her evil lair, and it's like a really dingy, dark place. She does not have enough resources to like make these grand skeeping things. All she has sweeping things, sorry, not skeeping. Don't know what that was. All she has is the butterfly Miraculous, and I love that. I love that she's the villainous underdog and that she has to like work her way up. And like I love that she's still the main villain. I find it so interesting now that even though
I
she
find.
sorry, what were you
Wait, go
saying?
ahead. Sorry, I didn't
Oh,
mean to
no,
interrupt.
it's okay. Um, what was I saying? I find it so interesting that Lila is the main villain, and yet she doesn't seem like she's like the biggest scope villain. It feels like the Secret Council is like the greatest scope evil with the biggest stakes, but Lila is still the main villain, and I love that because I want so badly to talk about Ace Attorney and like how this parallels to Ace Attorney, but you're gonna play the game soon, and I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll hold back. Just wait until you get to investigations. One of the investigations games. That's all I'll say.
I
Um,
will say Lila as an antagonist for me, I love it very deeply to me. I honestly prefer her more than Gabriel, but um what I do like about Lila is that how she works alone, which is probably why I get so icked out when people constantly insinuate that she's working with someone and that she's sending people off to do her dirty work for her. And it's like, or people insinuate that like Chris from the future is back, but like I don't think Lila has all that information to even act on doing things like that. I do feel like the blue light that we saw at the end of season 5 has something to do with Lila possibly getting some sort of like not power upgrade, but like some sort of help. But I don't think it's like help in the way that it's people or like an army or something like to her command to do her bidding and stuff like that. I feel like it's helping her in a way that only helps herself, as in like she's alone and her doing all this stuff by herself is like she's getting like help for that, but not like help from like a second hand or having like a little henchman on her side or something. I think Lila as a character works better by herself because I feel like when she is with other people, she's just like there's no like well, as much as I did like the Chloe and Lila stuff together, it like someone did mention this before that it felt like Chloe was more of her pawn than an ally. So it just feels like when Lila is in leadership with other people, it's like simply only to benefit herself, which is her character. She only does things to benefit herself. She's not really if she has to be a bad person to get to where she wants, then she'll be a bad person. If she has to be a good person to get to where she wants, she'll be a good person. She doesn't really align. Well, she aligns evilly, but it's not like her. It's like she doesn't care about being a bad or good person and doesn't care about other people because it doesn't serve her. It's like they don't matter until they can do something for her. And I like really like that about her because it feels like even though she has people around her, it's like herself. Like it's just herself relying on her own manipulation tactics and resources around her to get to what she wants.
Yeah, and I think the Secret Council really helps make Lila more compelling because I guess it means that, like, I don't know if I would have been able to stomach Lila being the only threat for an entire season. And, like, this new Secret Council is so intriguing that I want to see more of them so badly. And I I think that makes Lila being in the shadows and us not knowing much about her easier to swallow because our focus is being directed somewhere else for the villainous machinations for a while. And I just
I want oh
no, it's okay.
no, it was just a quick slight comment. Not a comment, but a question like do we like do we think that it's since it's confirmed that season 6 through 8 is supposed to be the second arc, do we think that the second arc is gonna be specifically about the council themselves? Like we'll see them rise in season 6 and then fall in season 8.
Mm, I don't really know, but Gabriel's arc lasted 5 seasons, so I'm a bit surprised that they seem to have like not they seem to not have the same philosophy with Lila. I'm glad, of course, that they don't. It just feels like I'm more optimistic knowing that they only have 3 seasons to do the whole Lila thing. So hopefully we'll get answers at some point. Like instead of it being like I don't know, season 4, and we still don't know how Gabriel found out found the butterfly miraculous and all that.
I
Hopefully,
personally don't think I don't think her reign of terror will end at season 8. I think she's gonna play like a secondary role, but then gradually become like a not like a secondary role. I feel like her villainry would be important, but not as important as what's going on with the Secret Council. So she'll be involved in some capacity, and I think season 6 and through 8 is gonna be the rise and fall of like the secret council and how the Miraculous will end up defeating them, or maybe Lila will defeat them. Who knows, really?
I it's also up in the air right now, but that's what makes it quite exciting. I don't understand I think when I think about Illustrator and Sublimation, I'm bored. I don't like those episodes that much. And I'm bored about season 6. Like season 6 feels the most like a boring season 1 thingy when I'm watching Illustrator and Sublimation or thinking about them or whatever. But then when I'm thinking about El Toro de Piedra, then I'm thinking, oh, this is season 6. Things are going places, and I'm so excited to see where we go. And I cannot like I know I keep repeating myself here, but I just need Yaxi Gozen. I need them to release that episode. I really, really want it because the Gozen thingy, like Gozen is always to do with Tomoe, Ikari Gozen, Matagi Gozen. So that means Yaxi Gozen is almost definitely going to be her, which means more Secret Council business, which means more Natalie, which means hopefully the plot point that Natalie's pretending to be the new Hawkmoth, which I really, really hope that she is, because that sounds like such an interesting and compelling plot point. And
And
so
hopefully we get that Ryuka transformation. Oh my god, what the hell did they do to her in season 3?
that was a very boring transformation back then. Did you know that? I'm pretty sure you knew about this, hopefully, but like, did you hear about how Ikari Gozen basically just aired entirely at CDCC 2019 that one
Oh
time?
yeah, I remember that. I
And
remember
so
that.
we had to I remember I had to watch the episode in this really poor quality because it was just someone recording from their phone on the screen. And so the audience kept reacting to things. Like especially at the Hawkmoth bit, everyone started like talking and like reacting, and I was like, please be quiet, I just want to hear what Hawkmoth is saying. Because I just wanted to hear the Hawkmoth monologues because I always skipped to those whenever a new episode released. And so I had to do that again, but I couldn't hear what he was saying, which was frustrating.
Honestly, I don't really remember. I don't. I remember being spoiled about Ryuko and the season 3 heroes through Jeremy Zag's Instagram, which is also how I got spoiled. Like how basically the entire fandom got spoiled about Purple Tigress. I I forgot who debuted before that spoiler leaked, but it showed Purple Tigress before she appeared, and I think it was Polymath before she appeared, or maybe it was, yeah,
Yeah.
it was Polymath before she appeared, and it was kind of like funny as hell because like Jeremy Zag is like spoiling the fuck out of his damn series.
I do you remember back in like 2018 or something where he shared a picture from a monitor and it was Gabriel and Ladybug in the crypt, and that didn't really go anywhere.
I don't remember that. Yeah, Miraculous has so many leaks. Like, oh my, the season 5 leaks. Oh
Oh
my god,
no.
that's like the. I remember reading the Natalie Wish thing in the Bible, and I was like, what the hell? This is like peak. Like this is like just borderline misogyny. Like what the hell? They had her wishing to make Gabriel fall in love with her. Like that is just like to me that well, actually, I'm not like the Natalie enthusiast over here, but like that somewhat feels out of character for Natalie. Like I like she like even during season 2 when her feelings were made known, she seems to like feel guilty about them rather than being like, oh, I want Gabriel so bad, he needs to love me.
Yeah, like I always got the vibe that Natalie's love for him wasn't like a selfish thing. It was quite the opposite. Like instead of I love Gabriel, I want him to be mine at any cost. It was I love Gabriel so I will help him at any cost. So the Bible,
Yeah,
I'm kind of glad that they didn't go that route with Natalie cuz that's less
I li-
interesting.
I like the bisexual panic of Miss Natalie Sankour. I I I think I think it wasn't originally a part of season 5 script and Bible that she would also like have some implied ass feelings for Emily. And I do remember reading a tweet from Thomas where someone asked if Natalie had feelings for Emily as well, and then not Gabriel, I meant Thomas said he was like, well, a lot of strong feelings can be grown at like moments like this in life, and it's just like okay, like
He pulled a
just making it
senti
very
monster. He pulled a senti
like
monster theory. Sorry. He pulled a senti monster theory and decided to be really vague about it.
it's just so like it's just so not funny, but it's just I do appreciate them changing that about Natalie's character because it does paint a light that like Natalie was grieving too, and she was like as much as she was in love with Gabriel, she also loved Emily so dearly enough for her to kind of like throw herself, not like really throw herself for the sake of Emily, but was like her admiration and for Gabriel mixed with her grief about wanting Emily back because she believes that Adrian deserves his like a mother like Emily. Feels like a very sweet kind of story, and seeing her like regret everything in season 5 was just also kind of sad to watch. And seeing her want to do something, but at the same time, she knows that her like body is practically like losing its strength by like every day, and she like basically is bedridden by the end of season 5, which seems like it takes place like 2 or like 1 month before the whole school year ends. So it's just like an entire month or two of Natalie basically just like wanting to do something, but feeling as though she's losing her grip and strength on like any sort of like control of any kind of situation. It's just like sad to watch.
Yeah. Um. As I think I saw someone in the chat say that the senti monster theory was definitely not planned for the start. I agree with that. I feel like there was like what like a 2 year gap between season 3 and season 4. Like season 3 ended in November 2019. Season 4 started in March 2021. That's all. That's like a year and a half. So that's a lot of time for them to start seeing the senti monster theories that started emerging in like September 2019, and to decide to pivot and to make that true, because the hints only really started in season 4. So I feel like they did fall in love with the idea and decided to go with it.
Sorry, I need a cough. Yeah.
So
Uh, I honestly, yeah, it's nice. I see a lot of like people going like Natalie deserves to be jailed. And I'm like, to be honest, her ass needs to be locked up. But I'm not against her being out and about, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where they're clearly showing that this is a bad decision. Like at the end of Recreation, like, I know we're dipping our toes into some treacherous waters here, because what I'm about to bring up is a very contentious and controversial topic in the fandom. So brace yourselves. um, Marinette's lie about Gabriel being monarch. Let's let's talk about it. Let's see where this crazy train takes us. Who knows what will
I
happen?
I hate discussing it because it's just like there's like no satisfying way to talk about it with the fandom.
I guess.
And I in a way I I appreciate what like the drama is bringing and stuff like that, but I don't appreciate how much of the fandom acts like if Marinette went through the suffering she did, that like means that she's like above all criticism and that everyone has to understand how she feels, or if they're not doing that, then like they're like monsters and they don't understand what she did and stuff like that. And it's like no, I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah. It's
I
like
feel like when it comes down to the lie, it's like Marinette, her decision to lie was understandable, but at the same time, it's not right. The season 6 keeps telling us it's not right.
yeah.
And whenever like the fandom talks about it, it's just like she did it because she's protecting Adrian. If Adrian did it, it's like that's not the point though. The point is that she lied, and it's gonna be so much worse when it comes out because regardless, it's gonna come out.
Do you think it'll come
And
out in Nemesis or like in season 7?
I I'm okay. I'm like 50-50 on this, but I think like the truth will either come out in Nemesis or it will come out in the two-parter in season 7, like the whole two-parter thing that they plan on doing for episode 1 and 2.
Yeah. I mean, they have to have content for that two-part, don't they? So
Yeah.
they'll have to save like the really big stuff for that two-parter, I think. I'm very confused, like optimistic about that because I don't think we've ever had a two-parter opening a season before. It's always been a
Yeah.
two-part finale or a mid-season two-parter like the Queen's Battle or the Kwame's Choice, but it's never been at the start, which I'm excited about.
I also will say that I do think that season 6 is more like setup and more like giving, from what I'm feeling about season 6, is that it's like giving us setup and a little bit more information about the characters and stuff like that because the show will, and I'm hoping on this because they've been neglecting our side characters for 5 seasons straight. I I'm hoping that they're planning on involving the side characters in more conflicts, and by providing us episodes that deep dive them will help us better understand their actions and choice of words or whatever they will do coming second arc, along with maybe them being involved in way more serious deals rather than just being called up for battle. Like say they're like investigating a place. Like we'll see King Monkey or Minotaurox there, and they're like adding commentary to what's happening around them or any other serious situation that will occur. And I feel like, yeah, I just feel like season 6 is more like a information dump season and kind of like a setup season, while also like developing our characters into more stronger versions of themselves before putting them into really heavy crap.
I guess so. Um, I guess the thing with I'm still really hoping that season 6 isn't only set up. You know, I hope that
Yeah.
things actually do happen like in the same way. Like I'm just all of the my hype for season 6. It's coming off of I guess my own theories and anticipation. Like nothing that we've seen as of yet, but rather like the promise of what could be in the future. But I'm really hoping that the future that I'm on about is still in this season, even if it's like towards the end of the season. Because I keep like planning out like the next few months. Like, okay, what season 6 episodes do you think they'll be released, and will they be interesting and cool, and will I love them? And then I keep thinking about early next year. Like, is that when, I don't know, like, is that how long I'll have to wait for Yoxi Gozen? Or Lady Chaos? Or Queen of the Dread Zone? Or the finale? I mean, like, in terms of the finale, like the final few episodes, I mean, probably. But, like, this hiatus that's been going on for almost half a year, they can't have spent all of that time only doing Mr. Agrest. Surely they have some other episodes. And if so, what
God,
are
I
those
hope
episodes?
so. Did you see that Tifu is gonna be? Well, it seems like Tifu is gonna be airing Mr. Agrest the same weekend as it would drop in English, which means that it's gonna drop on a Wednesday for their streaming site before they air it on their programming television or whatever.
Yeah, I did see that, and I was really hoping, I was holding out to hope that they would air a different episode, but it doesn't seem like it. It feels like Mr. Agrest is the thing that's on everyone's minds right now, because it's the only episode we have an actual release date for as of right now. But
Yeah,
I'm guessing like in mid-September, we're all of a sudden going to get an influx of episode dates, all slated for like October, November, and it's going to be like it's going to be like season. Wow, I just realized this. This season's production, it's almost the same as the production cycle of last season. Like we had a few episodes in season 5 in the summer, then we went radio silent for half a year, and then all of a sudden the episodes just kept coming and coming like nobody's business. Like so quickly. Like all of a sudden we were getting like what, like 10 plus episodes by the end of the year. I'm guessing, I have no idea though. I'm just talking off of the top of my head. I could be wrong about that, but a lot of episodes released. Like almost daily in like early November. So I really hope the same thing happens here with season 6. I hope we get a lot of episodes one after another before things go
they
radio silent again.
they were telling Miraculous Corp was like they're telling the broadcasters not to air episodes when they get them, so to wait till they have a batch of episodes to share. And it's like they better fucking follow through. It better not just be Mr. Gress, because can I be honest, the vibe I'm getting from Mr. Gress is that it's gonna be like a pretty like okay episode. Like it's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be like peak or something. I think it's just gonna be like a pretty seems like a pretty okay episode, and I rather have other episodes build off of that momentum of like season 6 rather than just have a singular episode than like wait like an entire freaking month like they did with like Revelator, where it was like a month hiatus, then we got Revelator, then we had to wait like another month in order to get the ruler, El Toro de Piedra, and I forgot what else. What else
Climatic
aired?
Queen?
Oh, Climatic Queen. Climatic Queen. Yeah.
That wasn't really the. I'm a bit disappointed. Like Climatic Queen wasn't the planets aligning. Everything finally makes sense. Season premiere chronologically that I hoped it would be.
They need to set it right this time. They really do need to set it right. I just can't with all that.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm reading the chat.
Oh, I
They are
wasn't
going to
really
be doing
sorry.
weekly
I wasn't really paying
releases in
attention.
October.
Um.
One week. Oh, I don't remember early season 5. I do remember only reading the leaks and then tuning out of Miraculous because I already knew what was going to happen.
Oh, I still. There's not a day that goes by where I don't regret looking at the leaks. Because things are finally happening, like regardless of whether or not they're good. Let's put that aside for the moment. Whether or not the plot points were good, they were happening and they felt high stakes. And I feel like I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I didn't know what was going to happen anyway. And I noticed towards the end of season 5 the fandom kind of died off quite a bit. Miraculous creators weren't getting as much traction online because the leaks was such a big thing. Loads and loads of people saw them, had their fill, and just kind of left because they already knew what was going to happen. And what they knew sounded terrible. So that was like a double whammy. Like, I already know what's going to happen, and it's bad. So I have even less reason to actually tune in. I'm just going to go and watch other things. And so
Well, that's exactly what happened.
it felt like weird that it took so long. Like, I feel like we needed Miraculous World Paris to come in and rejuvenate the fandom, because like Action wasn't doing anything any favors.
Yeah, no, action was like the peak example of why they needed to change like the whole animation engine and everything in animators. I'm like much love to the old animators and yeah, much love to the old animators and the old animation. I will say I did exaggerate how much I disliked how it looked before, only because I was tired of like hearing so many people talk shit about season six's visuals when they're like, to me, in my opinion, much better than the old ones.
I can see
But
that.
I feel like action itself was like a reason, like the main, like was like a main example of why the show just had to switch over.
Yeah, and I feel like almost at an objective standpoint, I do think the show looks better now. Just look at the chrysalis achromatizations for proof. And I
Exactly.
think that's why we're getting longer and longer gaps between episodes because before they didn't really care about the quality of the animation. Chilin, anybody? um, like they were just
Chilin.
they just sent different episodes to loads of different studios, and so they were all working in parallel, so episodes came out a lot faster. But now everything's being done by one studio in house, Dwarf Animation, and so they don't like there's no parallelization anymore.
I
Parallelization
would say
and then parallelization.
I do like Dwarf's work. They also worked on the movie as well. They didn't work on the entire thing, but they did play a part in animating a part of the movie. So it's kind of nice seeing them go from the movie to the show, and also seeing how the art style is kind of bearing similar to the movie art style.
Yeah, I do quite like the new animation. It was one of those things where like, you know Ninjago. Have you ever heard of Ninjago?
Oh yeah, I did see they also got a style
Yeah, in
change as
season eight
well.
and the start of season eight, they had like the same kind of visual revival, and I think people were hating on it at the time, but I wasn't in the Ninjago fandom at the time, so I just came back and watched it without the nostalgia goggles, and I loved it, and I prefer the new animation to the old one. But I think people were hating on it back then because it had been so long with the old style that the new styles come along, and because it's new and they're not used to it, people hate on it. And I think over time, people have stopped like in the Ninjago fandom. People have stopped really caring, and I think, they've come to appreciate the new animation because it looked really good, way better than the old animation, and it's almost the exact same situation here in the Miraculous fan base. I think it's just something that will die down as more episodes release, and like the descent will kind of diminish because we'll get used to it, you know?
I I'm so annoyed whenever I open up TikTok comments and it's just like bring back the old animation. Girl, shut the hell up. I don't care.
Please don't.
I really like if you really want it back so damn bad, then let's call up DQ or something to animate again for the show.
You want another Chi-Lin, TikTok people? You want another
You
Chi-Lin?
like people really want another Chilean, and like let's be honest, the fluctuating quality of season five was just like not even just action, like I said earlier, like it was just like an example of like okay, they really needed to move on from doing all this like old animation stuff because it's like clearly not working out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said that the reason why they was pivoting to the new animation is because the old what was it? The old animation software that they were using literally didn't work with the models anymore, and so they had no choice but to pivot, which is an understandable reason, and it kind of gave them an opportunity to breathe new life into the franchise because like I can't really imagine season 6 animation style being any other way. It helps to me, I think, because everything looks so much nicer and there's no more inconsistent animation. Like back in the I love season 4 so much, but it got really weird like how inconsistent things like they would like for every strike back you got, you would have like 5,000 Chilins or
Or like
Psychomedians.
whitewashed Alias. Like I was so tired of whitewashed Alias. It was the worst. Or even whitewashed Maxes or whitewashed Alex. Oh my god, they whitewashed the hell out of her.
I
People don't even know that Alex isn't even white. Like It's crazy.
What nationality is Alex?
She's supposed to be I don't know how to pronounce it, but she is supposed to be Egyptian. But
Oh.
the weird thing about the topic of Alex's like ethnicity and nationality and all that kind of stuff is that she's supposed to be a person of color, but at the same time, like the way Thomas went about giving her like her ethnicity and stuff like that is like kind of like a wrong well, from what I've seen, like I'm not saying my word is the right word, so guys do not run with my words, but a lot of people are saying that the because she's supposed to be she's Thomas describes her as Arab, but people say that her ethnicity doesn't match with being Arab. So it's like a little confusing on what Alex is, but it's it's clearly obvious that she isn't white though.
And on the topic of Alex, I think about this a lot, but I've never voiced it because it seems kind of random. But can I just say, I feel so bad for Jaleel because it feels like Alex gets all the special treatment from their father, and like she got the special watch. She like they were bonding so much in evolution, and and the Jaleel is just left out in the cold. Like in the Pharaoh, he was spouting nonsense in the Pharaoh. Don't get me wrong, but like his father is so cold and mean. Even though Jaleel is trying to share what's passionate to him, and he says, "Ah, shut up! Like focus on the real world," and then that crushes his soul enough to get him akumatized. And then in reunion, when Jaleel gives up, like he says, "I miss my sister. Why is she in the time stream? I think there's something weird going on." Even though he's wrong, like it feels like they never have a single good interaction. Like Jaleel and his father, they seemingly never get along. And if it contrasts so heavily with Alex and her father, Mr. Kubdel and Alex, they only have good interactions. Mr. Kubdel and Jaleel, they only have bad interactions. And it's just such a depressing contrast. Like it feels like the watch, like it's been passed down by generations, and it's specifically given to the younger child. So Jaleel is like deliberately left out in the cold there, which is sad, you know?
I wonder if he's come to terms with it at all. Sorry, I'm seeing mentions of derision and I'm like getting shivers down my spine.
Oh no, not derision. Not derision. Stop, please. No, the flashbacks, they're returning. Derision, no. There is no derision in Dawson's Creek.
God,
Derision does
like
not exist. It is not real. We made it up. It is a fiction in our heads, and we can banish it to the subconscious where it belongs whenever we wish.
I'm also seeing mentions of Luka. Oh, that kind of brings me to my topic of my thoughts about Luka. I
Oh, I
like
have a.
Luka, but also like a lot of his fans tend to do this like weird thing where they like really like hype him up and like we all got our favorite character we gotta hype up. But sometimes it's like to the point where it's like I don't know, it feels like they're like pushing it way too like farther than it needs to be. Like I feel like Luca as a character lacks so much depth to the point where and I see this get brought up when it comes to the topic of Alya being chosen to be the deputy guardian. A lot of people are like, well, Alya did this and Alya did that, and it's like, yeah, but Luca kind of hasn't shown how he would function as a guardian itself. And I'm not saying that he would be bad at it, but I'm saying like the the flaws you see in Alia is because they actually give her time to flourish as a character, whereas Luca doesn't have any time because the show focuses on turning him into this character who's like so in love with Marinette that that's practically the only drive for his character, or sometimes they are like, oh look, he has a relationship with Jagged Stone, but at the same time, it's like I feel like Luca as a character, they don't really think so much about him because it's a lot of the stuff involving his character just seems like they lack any like want or need to make Luca a character separated from Marinette. Which is like it's not impossible for them to do that because look at Kagami. She was introduced as almost the same premise as Luca, but in Kagami's case, you see her struggle with friendship and realizing that not everything she does will be perfect, and her struggling to grasp at that, and then coming to terms with being like a flawed person, and just like among other things that Kagami's character brings to flesh her out more and separate her further from Adrian and even Marinette sometimes. And it's like that Luka as a character just seemingly exists in extension to Marinette with like no depth given to him whatsoever. And even the depth they do give him with Jagged Stone, it's it seems kind of like not forced, but like it's dealt with like in a bad way because the show clearly favors Jagged and Luca's relationship, almost in a way that makes you think that the writers kind of forgot that Luca and Julika were related. So, in an extension to Luca being Jagged's son, it would be Julika also needed to be Jagged's daughter in a way.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
It just seems like a lot of neglect and a lot of things.
it's kind of weird that they seem to. It's kind of like the Lila problem. Like, they want Luka to be an important character, but then they they don't they don't give him enough like enough reason to care. There's not enough reason to care about Luka, really, and they give him some cool moments, and like they make him really important by having him learn Ladybug and Cat Noir's true identities, but then they don't go anywhere with that. He gets shuffled off screen for the rest of the season.
They took him
5.
20, like around 20 episodes to address it. I understand how like doomed it would be if they consistently did something with the character, but they don't. And it's like you can't convince me that Luca is like a more compelling character than Alya while they don't do anything to focus or flesh Luca out. At least in Alya's case, we get to see her help Marinette. We see her have flaws with also having flaws come out by handling a new role in Marinette's life, a role that she is happy to accept because she cares so deeply about Marinette. And that's just another thing. A lot of people equate Alya's need for truth and blogging and stuff like that as like a thing that she's only, how do I word this? Oh, it's like Alya's role as a character is only like interested in doing the important stuff because it gives her information to do, like to share to the world and stuff like that. But it's like, no, you can see Alya definitely has strong morals and cares about Marinette. And
Yeah,
the show constantly like downplays Alya as a character despite setting up things about Alya's character that would be contradictory to how bad she is acting. Cough cough, Lila.
oh no.
It's just like it feels like when it comes to Alya's character, it's like the writers want a powerful character without actually committing to Alya as a powerful character because they keep doing this stuff where it's like, oh, Alya discovered that there were past holders of the Miraculous throughout history. Oh, Alya discovers the charms and tapping into the Miraculous powers before Marinette discovers it. Oh, Alya manages to outsmart Hawkmoth all by herself with no help from Cat Noir or Ladybug. Oh, Alya accepts the Ladybug Miraculous in order to help Marinette and Adrian progress as a couple, and it's just like, okay, they set Alya up as this good character, but don't want to fully commit to her being one. So they make her do stuff like tell Nino that she's Rena furtive, and now everyone hates Alya and thinks she can't be secretive. Oh, and
Yeah,
now we have Alya believing Lila still, even though Alya knows that Ladybug is Marinette, and now they're retconning a lie, and now Alya looks like she's just being a terrible person for the sake of it.
I I do see that. I'm annoyed about the Lila thing, and I actually think that's one of the reasons why Lila was so absent in season 4. Because how do you bounce back from her lies in Ladybug, the season 3 episode? In my Lila video, I picked apart everything wrong with her plan in that episode, and the stupid "because of this rare disease, sometimes I don't control things I say." Why would anyone believe her after that? and so, and also the lie about Ladybug. Like, that was one of the first things we learned about Lila, one of the first things Alya learned about Lila. And so in season 4, when Alya finds out about Ladybug's true identity, it feels like the writers didn't want to address that she should know the truth about Lila by this point now. And so they felt insecure about keeping her around, and so they just shuffled her off to the side because they were completely inflexible. Like, Lila has to be important, and she will not be exposed until the end of season 5. And so they figured, let's just not do anything with her in season 4 so that we can stall for that point. And it just doesn't, it's annoying to me. Like, I don't understand, like, how that, like, the pacing problems with Lila's character is insane. Like, she only appears in 1 episode in season 1, which is fine. Like, they only introduced her character, so it's okay if she doesn't appear much. Season 2 only appears in the finale again. I think that's okay, because it builds mystique around her character and makes her important for the finale. Season 3, she starts being more prominent. But then season 4, I feel like this could have been Lila's moment, you know, where she finally ascends importance. But, like, she doesn't do anything. And then, like, in mid-2021, they released the synopsis for Shadowmoth's final attack, and Lila's included in that synopsis. And so I was holding out for hope, like, okay, maybe if she's not important right now, she will be super duper important in the finale and do really cool, crazy things. But, like, in the finale, I love Risk and Strike Back so much, but, like, Lila is not why I love those episodes. Like, it's so weird, like, this finale that was marketed and touted as Lila's big return, she doesn't even get to do anything important in those episodes either. It's frustrating. She's a minor annoyance again, even though it's the end of season 4. It's the first time Lila gets to do anything important besides Penal Team, which I don't think really counts, because she doesn't do anything important there either, and they didn't really market her return in Penal Team, they marketed her return in the finale. And so I'm just wondering, how could things have gone so wrong? Like, they could have incorporated Lila into so many different episodes. Like, she could have been in Gabriel Agreste instead of Chloe. She could have been, like, I'm gonna try and list off episodes that we didn't really need in season 4 that could have been replaced by a Lila episode. So there's, did we really need Mr. Pigeon 72? Couldn't Lila have gotten akumatized and gotten a magical charm from Ladybug reluctantly in that episode? Did we really need Psychomedian? I mean, I feel like back-to-back Lila episodes is a bit weird, so maybe we'll keep Psychomedian. Gabriel Agreste, Lila should have been in that one. I feel like it would have been interesting if she factored in, like, did we need Glacier too? Like, replace that with another Lila episode, I think. I feel like Rocketeer, besides setting up Rena Furtive, it was kind of, I mean, I guess Rocketeer is pretty important, because it sets up things for Strike Back, so I'll give them that one. Simple Man. Okay, here we go. Don't have Simple Man. Please, just replace it with a Lila episode. And Chilin,
oh my god, now fucking Chilin.
I guess, like, Chilin replace, I don't know, let's go with it. Let's have a back-to-back Lila episode. Let's do it. Let's be crazy and cool. Let's have back-to-back Lila episodes in episode 19 and 20. But then Dearest Family would have to be reworked too. But that's okay, because, like, Dearest Family did not matter nearly as much as I think it should have. Shadowmoth breaks the magical charms. But, like, did it really need to be Marinette's family? It could have been any group of people. It could have been any one person. Who's to say it had to be a group? It could have been anyone, you know? Like, he could have akumatized with a Mega Akuma for anyone. It didn't have to be Marinette's family. And so Simple Man and Chilin don't matter anymore for setting up Dearest Family, because there is no Dearest Family in my rewrite. And so Ephemeral, I think, stays the same. I enjoyed Ephemeral. Kuroneko's fine. Penal Team. Did we need Lila in Penal Team? She didn't do much. Sorry, I need to attend to something quickly.
Well, guys, you're stuck with me. Hold on, I'm reading the chat a bit.
Alright, I'm back. My dinner's ready, so I think I might just have to cut the stream short a bit. Sorry about the abrupt ending.
That is perfectly fine.
This was fun though.
Truly, truly. We should
So
do it again sometime. I really do
yeah,
enjoy this because I also have just so much to say, but it was this was perfect. This was perfect.
yeah. So before I go, I was thinking, everyone in the chat, sorry I haven't been basically talking to you that much, but I'm interacting with you now. I wanted to say, thank you for being so patient with my season 6 video. I am halfway done with it. The other half, I don't know, I'm working on it as much as I can, so I'm aiming for an early September release date, like probably like the first week of September, something like that. I'm really hoping. Thank you all for being so patient with me, for initially saying it would be released in July and then August, and now I'm delaying it into September, and I understand that's frustrating, I really do, but it's just one of those things where I have to, like, I don't really have much time to do it otherwise. Like, I don't have enough, unless I wanted to, like, pull, like, 5,000 all-nighters to get it done by August. And I don't think that's healthy. I feel like it would just have to be, it would just end up having to be an early September release date. And I'm sorry for that, but I promise the wait will be worth it. I'm putting so much into this video, and I want it to be the best video I've ever made, and all that stuff. So, yeah. I hope you look forward to it still. I hope the hype isn't diminishing because of how long it's taking. Because you don't have much longer to wait, I promise. You do not have another month to wait. It will release in less than a month. Because I'm halfway done and all that stuff, and I'm working on it most of the time now, so you don't have to wait much longer. And on that note, I think I will close this lovely event that we've held. We might do this again sometime in the future, but it's all up in the air right now, what with scheduling conflicts that might arise, so we'll keep you updated in case we want to do this again. So, see you soon.
Bye,
Goodbye.
people.
Goodbye, everyone. YouTube people and my YouTube people and Finn's Twitter people. Goodbye. Thank you for coming together in this beautiful harmony that we've got going on here between YouTube and Twitter Miraculous Spaces. Thank you for turning up and bridging the gap, so to speak. Alright. Goodbye. See you, everybody. Thank you for turning up.
Bye, everyone.